You think she's pulling away because she's losing interest, but what if the coldness you're panicking about right now is actually the clearest signal she's ever sent you that she's still deeply invested? Sit with that for a second, because everything you've been told about women going cold is wrong. Not slightly wrong, not a little off, completely catastrophically wrong. And the way you've been responding to it, the texting more, the pulling harder, the anxious checking of her social media at 2x a.m., that response is the exact thing pushing her further away from you, not closer. So, if you're watching this right now because she's been distant, because the warmth is gone, because she went from texting you paragraphs to giving you one-word replies, and you don't understand why, stay here. Don't click away because in the next several minutes, I'm going to dismantle the story you've been telling yourself, and I'm going to replace it with something that actually serves you. And before we go further, if this channel has ever given you clarity on a situation that had you confused and spinning in your head, subscribe right now. Not for me, for you. Because you need a place that why strong emotions create distance consistently tells you the truth, not what feels good to hear. And this is one of those places. Hit the button. Keep going. Here's the thesis. Here's what it really means when she goes cold on you. It means she's watching. It means she's testing. Not out of malice, not out of games, but out of a deep biological and psychological instinct to verify that what she's feeling is safe to feel. It means she's emotionally invested enough in you that she's afraid. And fear, in a woman who has real feelings, does not look like softness. It looks like distance. It looks like silence. It looks like a wall. That's called an emotional withdrawal response. And you need to understand it, because if you don't, you will fail the exact moment that actually mattered. Let's build this from the ground up. The misconception first. The story most men carry around is this: warmth equals interest and coldness equals loss of interest. Straight line. Simple math. She's into you. She's warm. She pulls back. She's done. And so when she goes cold, you start doing the math in your head. You start reviewing every conversation, every text, every moment, looking for where you messed up, where you said the wrong thing, where you lost her. You start performing. You start over-explaining. You start flooding her inbox with questions wrapped in jokes, wrapped in desperation. You stop trusting yourself. You stop being the man she was attracted to. You start being something smaller. That's the misconception playing out in real time. And it's destroying something that didn't need to be destroyed. Now, the fear of vulnerability. Explained hard truth, and listen carefully because this one stings. Women do not emotionally withdraw from men they don't care about. They ghost men they don't care about. They become politely distant, professionally courteous, casually available, but never invested. That kind of cold is flat. It has no texture, there's no electricity underneath it. She's just gone. That's indifference. That's what actual disinterest looks like. But what you're dealing with, the cold that has tension in it, the silence that feels loaded, the short replies that still come, she's still responding. She just sounds different. The way she seems slightly irritated, slightly guarded, like something's happening inside her she's not saying out loud. That's not indifference. That has heat under the ice. That kind of cold is the byproduct of real emotion poorly managed. And here's what nobody tells you. Women are not always able to separate their feelings from their fears. When she starts to genuinely fall for you, and I mean really fall, not just enjoy your company, not just find you attractive, but start to depend on the way you make her feel. Something shifts in her psychology. A kind of alarm goes off because now she has something to lose. And the last time she had something to lose, she probably lost it. Or she watched someone she trusted walk away. Or she trusted too early and got burned. Or she opened fully and got less back in return. So now her nervous system, which doesn't distinguish between past pain and present possibility, sends up a flare. It says, slow down. Test this. See if he's real. See if he stays. See if he panics. See if he chases. See if he needs you the way your starting to attachment and emotional self-protection need him. That's the root cause. It's not about you doing something wrong. It's about her nervous system doing something very human. But here's what it costs you when you don't understand this. You respond from fear. And when you respond from fear, you confirm her fear. She was asking without words, without even fully knowing she was asking, "Are you solid?" And you showed her soft. She was testing whether your sense of self was stable, and you showed her instability. She was waiting to see if you would hold your ground, and you abandoned it. The moment the temperature dropped, you stopped leading. You stopped being present in your own life. You stopped pursuing your purpose, your vision, your goals. You stopped going to the gym. You stopped calling your friends. You stopped sleeping well. Everything narrows down to her, to the signal, to the response time, to the interpretation of a single emoji or the absence of one. That's called losing yourself. And the tragic irony is that the self she was attracted to is the very thing you bury the moment you feel her pulling back. You erase the evidence of why she liked you in the first place, and then you're confused about why she's not coming back. Here's the reframe, the one that changes everything if you actually let it land. Her coldness is not the verdict. It's the question. And the question is, who are you when I'm not warming you? Who are you when the validation dries up? Who are you when the good morning texts stop? Who are you when you're no longer getting the attention, the softness, the reassurance? Do you collapse? Do you beg? Do you spiral? Or do you stand up straighter, fill your own cup, and keep signs it's not rejection? Walking in the direction of your life with the same energy you had before she ever entered it? Because that's what she's watching for. Not whether you chase, whether you're solid. Now let me show you what the man who passes this test actually looks like. Because you need a model, not just a concept. This man doesn't perform. He doesn't send the follow-up text 40 minutes after she left him on red, just to see if maybe this time she'll respond differently. He doesn't manufacture reasons to reach out. He doesn't engineer proximity. He reaches out when he genuinely wants to, not when anxiety tells him to. He can tell the difference between those two things. And that distinction is a discipline he has built over time. This man has a life that doesn't wait for her. He has a mission that matters to him. He has friendships that challenge him. He has a body he's building, a craft he's developing, a vision he's working toward, not to impress her, not to make her jealous, because those things are his and they were his before she came along and they'll be his regardless of what she does next. That's not indifference. That's wholeness. This man understands that his emotional stability is not her responsibility to maintain. If she's cold today, he doesn't need her to be warm in order for his day to function. He can hold his own temperature. He can sit in uncertainty without it destroying his productivity, his peace, his posture. He can give her space without experiencing that space as abandonment, because he's not abandoning himself in the meantime. This man communicates from clarity, not desperation. If enough time passes and he wants to address what's happening, he does it simply, directly, without drama. The mistake most men make. He says, "I've noticed you seem distant. I want to understand what's going on." He's not accusatory. He's not apologetic. He's not performing sensitivity to earn her back. He's just honest. And then he listens. And then, crucially, he lets her answer be what it is without immediately trying to fix or manage it. And here's what happens. Not always, but far more often than you'd expect. She softens, not because he broke down her wall, because he showed her the wall wasn't necessary. He showed her, without saying a word about it, that he was the kind of man worth opening back up to. That's the man. Now, here's what you actually do. First, you stop chasing the temperature. You stop monitoring how warm or cold she is and adjusting your energy accordingly. You stop making her emotional state the weather of your inner world. She's cold today, so you're cold. She's warm, so you're on top of the world. That's not connection. That's codependence. Break the pattern. Second, you redirect your energy back to your life immediately. Not eventually, not after you've spent another 3 days analyzing the situation. Today, you call the friend you haven't spoken to in a month. You go back to the workout you've been skipping. You return to the project you put down when she started taking up all the space in your head. You do the thing you know you're supposed to be doing, not as a tactic, not as a strategy to make her miss you, as an act of self-respect, as a reclamation of yourself. Third, you give her the space without punishing her for needing it. This is the subtle one. Some men give space, but do it resentfully. They go quiet, but they're seething. How high-value men respond. They pull back, but they're waiting for her to notice and come running. That's not space. That's a silent ultimatum. True space is generous. It says, take what you need. I'm not going anywhere. But I'm also not standing at the door waiting. I'm living. Fourth, you decide on a time frame. Don't let ambiguity stretch indefinitely. If she's been cold for an extended period and you've already created space, you can reach out once. Once, simply, warmly, without pressure. You say what you mean and you mean what you say, and then you allow the silence to speak for itself. Because the man who says something real once and then waits without collapsing, that man communicates more strength than the man who sends 10 messages trying to crack the code. Fifth, and this is the one that requires the most courage, you accept the real possibility that her withdrawal is about something she hasn't told you yet. Maybe something happened in her life. Maybe she's processing something personal. Maybe she's trying to figure out her own feelings. Your job is not to solve it for her. Your job is to be the kind of consistent, grounded presence that she can come back to when she's ready, not the anxious variable she's trying to calculate, the constant. Now, let me close this with what I really need you to hear. You are not the problem. Your desire to understand is not weakness. The fact that you care enough about this to want to figure it out, that's not desperate. That's human. But the way you've been carrying it, the way you've been letting her silence write your story, the way you've been shrinking yourself down to fit into whatever space she'll allow you, that has to stop. Not because she doesn't deserve attention, because you deserve your own. You are not a supporting character in her emotional process. You, when to step back versus lean in, are the main character in your own life. And when you start living like that fully, unapologetically, without needing her temperature to rise before you can feel warm, something shifts. You stop feeling desperate. You start feeling free. And freedom, real freedom, is the most magnetic energy a man can carry. Her coldness is not a verdict on your worth. Her silence is not a sentence. It is a moment. One moment in a longer story that you have not finished writing yet. And the only question that matters right now is who you decide to be in this moment. Not who she needs you to be, who you choose to be. You are the answer. Not the fix to her problems. Not the solution to her patterns. The answer to your own question about who you are when things get hard. When the warmth disappears. When the uncertainty moves in. When the test begins, you are the answer. Stand in that. And if this gave you something today, if this cracked something open, if it settled something that's been unsettled in you, subscribe to this final message. Stay calm and observant, channel, because there's more where this came from. Not theory, not soft reassurance dressed up as insight, real clarity on the things that actually matter. How you carry yourself, how you understand people, how you build a life worth living, and a presence worth returning to. Every single video here is built for that one man who's ready to stop guessing and start knowing. That man is you. Welcome to the community. Now go live, like,